Today I want to talk about finding your ideal client. My camera's like going all crazy, so I'm hoping this is coming through for you. um, so we have just come back from a 2-day business intensive where I go up with a few members. You don't have to be a member, but it worked out this way that it was member. We were just in Saratoga Springs, New York, and we did a deep dive into each other's business where I work one-on-one. It's in a group setting, but very specifically in your business. It's not a big crowd. It was actually a very small crowd, which allowed me to spend a lot of time with each individual participant, which brought up what we're going to talk to today, finding your ideal client. Many times people, when they're trying to decide what their business is and who their client is, they think they can help everyone, especially if you're a healer in some way. A coach, a therapist, it's like everyone. I can help everyone. And it's really important to niche down as far as you can, because in reality, you actually attract who you are maybe 2 years ago. So your life story and the things that you have gone through are probably the stories that you are sharing and are aiding in the healing that you are giving your clients. If it's coaching, if it's inner child work, if it's therapy, whatever it is that you're looking for. It's someone that you were about 2 years ago. It doesn't have to be exactly 2 years ago, but when you look at who you're attracting, they very much have those same characteristics as you do. I know people are listening and going, no, not exactly, maybe not, but if you think about who your ideal client is, very similar to who you are. So when you're working on what we call your avatar, that's your ideal client. That's when you're doing your marketing programs, and who you're talking to is your avatar. So you can have more than one. It's very common to have more than one. But there's usually a common thread that's between all of your avatars. And I'm actually going to, I wasn't going to, sorry. I was working through this with my branding people not too long ago, as we were kind of deciding who is our ideal client for NLBP. So maybe I'll share that with you to give you an idea of what that audience looks like, so we know that common thread that everyone has. I mean, for our audience for NLBP, I can't say it's a very specific avatar. We do have a few very logical, very spiritual that come to us, but I can't say, it's a woman in her 50s, because that's who I was 2 years ago. For my personal clients, people that I work one-on-one with, absolutely, we have a very common thread of the people I work with that are usually divorced or in a bad marriage. They have trauma in their past life. They were in a corporate world. They're moving over to this spiritual side. They're going through an awakening. They're very, very logical and have this whole inner piece of them that is spiritual. So I do attract me in my personal work. So just think about that. So some of the ideas, we came along, we went through some avatar work, and your ideal client, you really need to know where they hang out. Are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? But more than that, who are they talking to? When they have a problem, what are the first steps that they take? Who are they seeking out? Are they quietly trying to figure it out and going to coaches or going to a certain support group? Like, what are those people doing? And what magazines are they reading? What kind of things are they searching on the internet? So this helps you identify who those people are. And then after you get that, to actually make some bullet points on what that ideal client might look like. So for us, we always say for our ideal client, our audience, they don't fit in to BNI or some other networking groups. They show up and they feel like they don't belong, or they're hiding a piece of themselves, or people are like, yeah, that's not who we are. So it's that very transactional kind of networking. That's how we know that they belong more in our community, right? So if that has happened to you, you might want to take a look at us. That transaction culture doesn't really feel good to them. They have a deeper relationship with people. They need to know more about them to see if their product or service really works for them. They're looking for personal growth that in turn grows their business. So we tend to attract people that are in that awakening stage. They could have already been awake, but they're in that awakening stage. We call it soul curiosity. They're kind of wondering about this inner piece of them. They're about awakening, or they've been doing something for a long period of time. They're walking two paths, and they're saying, this really doesn't make my heart sing. This doesn't feel good. So they're looking for that personal growth and to really understand the inner game, and knowing that that brings their professional expansion. And they're looking for other people that are like-minded, that are feeling that as well. One of the other things, they're interested in giving more than getting. So we find a common thread with our members is they're willing to give, they're willing to mentor, they're willing to help out in so many other ways. And it's not always, like I said, again, transactional. It's more about who they are and where they're going and what they can give to help all of the other people behind them. That's the most important. The other bullet we have is awakening. So I said that before. They're somewhere in their awakening process. It could be just the curiosity stage. It could be they've been doing this for years. It could be they're meditating 2 hours a day. Everyone's in a different stage, but they're really, really open to everyone else and always learning more and sharing what they've learned. And our final bullet that we always know is they don't, other people don't get them. So that's our thing we always say, we get you. We get you. And the number one thing we hear when people join the community is, oh my gosh, I didn't know there were people like me out there. Like, I've been searching all along, I had no idea. Or I don't need to explain who I am or what I believe when I'm in this community of people. So we find that people that are hiding their intuitive or spiritual side, or not really leaning into it, not going into a room and telling people exactly what they're doing or how that piece shows up for them in their business or every single day, those are our people. So we have been able to figure out some like 5 or 6 points that are a common thread with all of our avatars. So when I'm talking to you or someone else is talking to you from the community, we can tell if we're the right support system for you, if we're the right organization for you to join, for you to have your professional development. It's easy for us. We can identify. You don't always have to have every single one, but most of our people have, 80% of them, 80-20 rule. How about that? So for you, when you are looking at your avatar, when you are looking at people, you should be able to have conversations and have those questions lined up that are pulling out the information to know if they're a perfect fit for you, right? It doesn't have to be, I can't think of the word. It doesn't have to be like not feel good. It doesn't have to be abrasive in any way. It just has to be a conversation. Hey, do you feel this or do you feel that? Or if they come up with a question, you can lean into that, because you're really there solving their problems, and you can't solve everybody's problem. It's knowing what your niche is, and you will do better work when you're working with your best client who's meeting you at that highest space. So that's all I got for you today. So if this was helpful, please let me know in the comments below. And if you know who your avatar is or your perfect person, let us know, because maybe someone who's listening to this also is that person saying, wow, that's me. Let me connect with this person. So it's really important. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful, who your avatar is, and if you have any questions or concerns, absolutely let me know. I'm always happy to jump on a call, talk a little bit more about what that looks like for you. And if you think that our avatar sounded good for you, we can have that conversation as well. All right. Welcome for my Training Tuesday. That is a wrap up for me, and I hope I see you soon at one of our other programs. Best. Bye-bye.